Like my mother is dark skinned, but my dad is very light with green eyes. And although I look just like my mom, and I love that, but I remember when I was growing up, I used to like kind of say to myself like, "Dang, I wish I looked like my mom still, but I wish I could have had my dad's skin in his eyes, because then I probably would have been prettier and I probably would have got more attention from guys." And I really would like visualize myself looking like that. And to be honest, it's because that's what I saw as attractive. Like I said, I grew up seeing nothing but light skinned women or white women. Even in school, all the light skinned girls were the ones that got all the guys and got all the attention. So, and even my brother, like he always went for light skinned girls. He would always say that that was his preference, you know. And hearing that and seeing that, it just made me feel like I wasn't pretty enough. Hey guys, it's Lisa Charnay and welcome back to my channel. So you guys know that social experiment where they had like two doll babies and one is white and the other one is like dark brown, and they asked children which one they feel is better or prettier or the best one, and mostly all of the children, including black kids, always choose the white doll, right? I had a similar experience when I was growing up with that. My mom, she actually brought me, I remember I was like 5 years old. She brought me a black Barbie doll. Had like kente cloth on, natural, like a little natural fro, and it was dark, a dark, black Barbie. And she also gave me like, the traditional white Barbie with the long blonde hair. So they they put both of them in front of me, and my mom was like, "All right, well let's play Barbies or whatever." So my mom, she sat down to play with me, and before she could even say anything, I hand her the black doll, and I'm like, "Here, you could be this one," like without even a second thought. And she kind of laughed to herself a little bit, probably because she knew that's what my reaction would be. And yeah, it was like a little funny moment at the time, but now that I think back on it, like that's really sad. I didn't realize how problematic that actually was. Now that I think back on it, and like I said, I was 5 years old, and I still remember this like clear as day. I did not want to be that black Barbie. I looked at it and I was just like, ew, she don't have no hair. Like, I don't want that. And but the thing is, that Barbie looked the most like me. So the fact that I saw that Barbie doll and said to myself, ew, she's ugly, I don't want to be that. But that's exactly how I looked. That's horrible. And the sad thing is, a lot of women, a lot of children, a lot of babies, they're growing up with that same mentality. And I feel like it's because of, the way we're represented. I mean, it's not new. Light skin or white people or mixed, they're always deemed as pretty. They're always deemed as prettier. Long hair. Those are the women that all the guys want. Those are the women that are pushed to the forefront on TV. So that's what we grow up seeing. So as dark skinned children, you're watching TV, or as teenagers, especially with social media now, like if that's all you're seeing in the forefront, of course you're going to think, okay, well, what's wrong with me? And your perception of beauty is going to be that light skin, that long hair, the straight hair. And it's funny because I never realized that I actually had that way of thinking. Because, I mean, I was never like teased for my skin tone or anything like that. So I used to always tell myself, like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, that never affected me. I was always happy with, my skin complexion and all this other stuff. But I honestly was affected by that. I watched BET day in and day out when I was younger. And, of course, music videos. What would we see? Light-skinned women, long hair. So with me watching TV like that, I was taking in that perception, like, okay, well, this is what's acceptable. Growing up, I was always obsessed with my hair. I wanted it to be long down my back. I wanted it to be straight, and my mom would not give me a relaxer, so I would just hate it, especially because I grew up in Texas. I was often the only black person like in my class or just in my friend circle, and you know, growing up with white people, obviously that made me feel like I was lacking in some area. Like, just imagine, you know, being not only being black but being dark skinned as well, kinky hair, and all of my friends around me have flowing hair down their back. And just subconsciously, like, anytime I would see dark skinned women, I would just automatically think that they weren't pretty and that the lighter skinned women looked better because they had lighter skin. Like Destiny's Child, for example, I love them, but I never really felt like Kelly was that pretty back then because she had short hair, she was very dark. But now, like, she popping. Like, the only person I could really think of off the top of my head that was a role model for me growing up was Brandy. I loved me some Brandy. I had the braids. Like, I knew all the songs. Watched Moesha faithfully. That's the only role model I really had growing up that I could look up to and like, hey, she looks like me. And it's funny because I just watched an interview with her the other day, and she was talking about how she actually never felt pretty herself. And it's a lot of colorism that goes on in the music industry. She missed out on a lot of roles because of her skin. People didn't think that she was drop dead gorgeous, as you know they put it. Even though she was talented and successful, she still felt like she wasn't good enough or wasn't pretty enough because of what she was surrounded by, what people were telling her. You know, she grew up in an industry where dark skinned women weren't celebrated, and that shaped how she saw herself. And it just goes to show that no matter, like, success doesn't equal self-esteem. You know, like, you can't fake it. It doesn't matter how much money you have, you know, how many friends you have, how well known you are. Those wounds hit deep, and they're carried throughout life, and you don't realize how much it impacts you until you look back. Like, the way what you're told growing up and what you see when you're growing up, that plays a role in how you see yourself and what you deem as pretty. The thing is, people still don't see dark skin as the standard of beauty. So it's important for parents that do have children that are of darker skin complexion to really build them up, help them to understand the beauty, help them to feel proud of their melanin, because if you rely on TV or social media to do it, it's going to do damage. Like, my mother is dark skinned, but my dad is very light with green eyes. And although I look just like my mom, and I love that, but I remember when I was growing up, I used to, like, kind of say to myself, like, dang, I wish I looked like my mom still, but I wish I could have had my dad's skin and his eyes, because then I probably would have been prettier and I probably would have got more attention from guys. And I really would, like, visualize myself looking like that. And to be honest, it's because that's what I saw as attractive. Like I said, I grew up seeing nothing but light-skinned women or white women. Even in school, all the light-skinned girls were the ones that got all the guys and got all the attention. So, and even my brother, like, he always went for light-skinned girls. He would always say that was his preference, you know. And hearing that and seeing that, it just made me feel like I wasn't pretty enough. And we have to do a better job at showing the young women that we have around us that there's beauty in this dark skin. And luckily, I'm to the point now where I love it. I embrace, you know, my skin tone. I don't shy away from the sun. I love getting that summer tan. But unfortunately, not everyone has that realization. There's still women struggling with their skin tone and feeling like they're not pretty. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment your thoughts below. Let me know if you have any experience with colorism or if there's something that still affects you today. Like this video, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.